Coffee mug spills. I like coffee. I enjoy the fine aroma that comes from freshly crushed beans that are filtered to make a nice strong coffee that smells just right. That is the kind of good coffee I get at home, but work is a different story altogether. We have the funny machine at work where you press the button, hold your mug underneath it, and the exact amount of coffee necessary to fill one mug pours out. You know the ones I'm talking about. I hate those machines. They make awful coffee. Anyway, there I was one fine Monday morning trying to get myself some coffee. I pressed the button, put the mug underneath the drip, and the coffee began to fill my cup. Before I could stop it, the mug started spilling over. I wasn't too happy about that, to say the least. I was going to throw the mug away and get a bigger mug, but there was a nurse standing there right next to me, and she said to me that maybe I already had some coffee in the mug, and that was why it was spilling over. As a general rule, nurses are smarter than doctors. We are human beings. There is only so much stress we can handle. If the mug is full, even one extra drop will cause the drink to spill over, regardless of where the drop comes from, how big or small it is, or what it is made of. The solution isn't to get a bigger mug. Yet, that is what I was trying to do that day, and that is what most of us do our whole lives. Without realizing that there is nothing wrong with the mug, we keep getting bigger and bigger mugs. We keep telling ourselves to buckle up and deal with it. Buckle up and deal with it. Buckle up and deal with it. We keep getting bigger mugs without realizing that there was nothing wrong with us, and all we really had to do was take a step back, put our hand up, and start emptying out some of the contents of our mug. We go through our lives, with our lives filling up with stresses. Every time our lives seem as though they are about to spill over, we take on a bigger container to hold our overflowing responsibilities. Maybe the solution isn't to buckle up, but to empty the mug. We need to deal with our stress before it becomes too big to handle. Even if it did become big and we found ourselves with a huge mug, the only way forward is still going to be to start emptying the mug. My friends often say that, even though they have never had any major stressor in their lives, they feel overwhelmed by many of the problems in which they find themselves. Well, the reality is that the mug overflows regardless of whether there is a large quantity or even just a drop of incoming coffee. Stress affects us in different ways. It isn't only major stresses like bankruptcy that causes us trouble. Small stresses that keep adding up do too. Imagine standing in a queue to pay for your gas when your 1-year-old is crying non-stop. That's just as serious. The small stresses that we face on a daily basis keep piling up unnoticed and cause the mug to spill over. The solution isn't in just emptying the mug, but also in making sure it doesn't fill up again. Now, how do we do that? One starts by emptying the mug. Start talking to people you can trust. Tell them what is bothering you, things from the past, present, and even concerns that you might have about the future. The key is to find somebody you can really trust, somebody who won't judge you, somebody who won't get affected emotionally by what you have to tell them. Some of us are lucky and have people like that around them. But for most of us, getting a therapist might be the most practical option. We also have to work on stopping the coffee from entering the mug. We do that by making sure we don't continue to subject ourselves to stressful situations. Changing one's environment by finding a new group of people to associate with, finding a new job, and accepting help from friends and family once in a while are all examples of ways in which we can eliminate stress in our lives. Another option is to make holes at the bottom of the mug, so that whatever coffee comes in will immediately fall out. This can be done by finding ways to cope with the stress we find ourselves in despite our efforts to decrease stress. We need to develop stress coping skills. This could include something as basic as developing a hobby or just going for a walk. Anything that can help us cope is essentially our coping skill. I guess I better make a move. My coffee seems to be getting cold.